All right, welcome. We're joined by Kari Males, and Kari, it's a windy morning. We've come out to have a look at the property and the horses. First of all, I guess tell us a little bit about what you've got going on here.
We've got this is Paul's parents' place. There's about 120 acres here. We usually train sort of the 15 to 20 horses. That's a good number for us. We don't tend to get any more than that. Coming into this time of year, we've got 7 mares out the back due to foal, so we'll do a bit of that when that starts, about the early October. So yeah, between everything, it keeps us busy.
It is. It's an all-encompassing business. Talk us through the track a little bit, I guess. It's not a conventional shaped track necessarily.
It's not a conventional track. We do have the conventional half-mile track out the front here, but out the back we've got it's about 1.5 mile track. We'll work sort of about 1,000 metres in a bigger circle the opposite way up the top, and then head down the straight and do another loop down the bottom and have about a 700 to 800 metre run. So our last quarter when we sprint up is in a straight line up the hill, which is great especially for the babies and the trotters. It just helps to balance them up when they're running in a straight line.
And we saw a couple of friends out there that you can sometimes see.
Yeah, we get lots of friends out there. We occasionally get the odd kangaroo being a galloping pacemaker for us or dive across in front of us, but luckily all the horses have got used to them now.
The team, talk us through the horses you have, because I guess probably the stable star to some degree at the minute. Red Hot Tooth, where's she at? She was so good last preparation.
Yes, she is the stable star. She's getting picked up tomorrow. She's been having a well-deserved holiday up at Ben Stud. So she'll come back into work tomorrow, and obviously the main aim will be trying to go to the Great Southern Star this or next year.
And a couple of younger horses, Rockabella Stars, another one that had a really good preparation through sort of the Vic Bred Super Series and the Futurities.
Yeah, I think she's just starting to come to fore. Like, she's taken a little while to mature and been a bit open in her joints when she was younger and just needed a bit extra time, but she's starting to come good now, and like the rest of that family, she's a half sister to Bella's Delight. They've all been pretty honest and all earned.
And in terms of owners, I guess it's something that trainers have to work out a lot. Tell us about how that sort of happens and the owners that you have with the stable and how you manage them.
We've been pretty lucky. We've got a great bunch of owners that have stuck with us for a long time. Yeah, it's in this day and age, it's really hard to get people into the sport because it's quite a costly sport when money's getting tighter and tighter these days. But you tend to find when you get a few syndicates, it makes it a bit cheaper for people, and it takes gets a bit more fun into it without it being too expensive. But we try and keep them in touch as much as we can of what's going on, and we've got a great bunch of owners.
In terms of your involvement in the sport, it's generally a family sport. Is that the way that you were introduced to it?
Yeah. Well, Paul's parents own a few, so that's how he started off as a carpenter and got into it through his parents and decided he wanted to do that full time. My dad always trained as a hobby, so I did the same. Got into horses when I was young and never wanted to do anything else. So,
what's your favourite part of it? I guess is working with young horses, and as you say, you're breeding them, so you get to see them sort of from cradle to grave all the way through. Is that pretty special?
The best experience is, and we've had a couple of our own, is when you've bred the mare, foaled the mare down, and then you've broken in the foal and got it to the races and won a race. There's no better achievement than that. It's very satisfying to know you've gone all the way through and got to the end. So yeah. What
sort of work do you do with the horses coming through a preparation? Obviously, I guess they start out jogging, and when they get a bit more serious, you're fast working them. What's your philosophy on training, I guess?
We make sure they get the miles under their legs of the slow steady work. We'll do a bit of jog and canter work often before we'll start fast working them. A lot of our paces will tend to gallop rather than more the older ones, just for a mind frame. It's something a bit different for them, because I think it's important to work on the mind as much as it is the fitness. You can have a horse 100% fit, but if the head's not in the right spot, it makes no difference. So we really work on keeping them happy as much as anything. They're all trained out of paddocks. Most of them have got a mate in, and we just pick the mates that eat the same speed and things like that and get along well, and they're all pretty calm around here, so I think the environment's sort of a good environment for them.
But you know, in terms of feeding horses? I suppose it's probably changed a lot over the last 17 years. How do you sort of keep up with the trends and make sure that you're getting the right things into the horses?
Yeah, it is hard to keep up with the trends, and we've more gone back to basics and making our own feeds rather than pre-mixed feeds, and we've found that's worked quite well. So, you know, that's the way we've gone
Do you have
the last few years.
Any interests outside of the sport? Obviously, it's a pretty full-time job. Do you get away much? Do you do other things, or is this your life?
This is fairly much our life, this and chasing kids sport. So that takes up every other hour of the day that we're not here, really. So they've got a fairly active life outside of school between they do athletics and swimming and horse riding, and so when we're not here, we're usually chasing kids sport.
All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed the day. We've spent a bit of time at the property, had a look around, and it's been good to catch up with Kari Males, so thanks for joining us.
No, thanks a lot for having us.